one verse which I have selected is the 12th verse of the first chapter. If you go through the Astavakra Gita, you will find many similar verses. It's not, but that this verse is particularly beautiful. Chapter 1, verse 12. How does it go? Atma sakshi vibhu purna eka mukta chidakriyaha asango nispriha shanto brahmat samsaravaniva. What does it mean? Atma, the self. Sakshi, it is the witness. Vibhu, it is all, it is the vast, it's everything. Purnam, it is complete, it is whole, it is infinite. Ekaha, it is one. Muktaha, it is ever free. Chit, consciousness. Mark this word. It is consciousness. Akriyaha, beyond all transaction, beyond all action and change. Asanga, unattached. Nispriyaha, free of all lack, free of all hankering. Shanta, it is beyond all suffering, change, it is peace, which the peace that passeth understanding. So that it is the peace which is beyond all suffering, beyond all turmoil, beyond all samsara. Brahmat samsaravaniva. But we feel that we are in samsara. It is error. It is because of an error, because of ignorance, because of not knowing our real nature, that we feel we are in samsara, we are in trouble, we are this little creature who is being tossed up and down in the ocean of samsara because of ignorance. This because of an error. Error, Brahma means error. Funny story. I remember this monk I met in the Himalayas. And we were sitting for food. There's a place where they serve monks with food. And we exchanged pleasantries, introductions. Who are you? Which order do you belong to? Where do you come from? So I said, I'm Sarvapriyananda. I'm from the Ramakrishna mission. And this other monk was sitting there, traditional wandering monk. I said, Aapka naam, what's your name? Brahmdev. Brahmadev, Swami Brahmadev. I said, you mean Brahmadev? Because Brahmadev means the Lord of error. The Lord of mistakes. It's a mispronunciation of Brahma. Brahma means the vast. The Lord who is the vast, the infinite. But if you mispronounce it just a little bit, then Brahma becomes Brahma. Brahmadev. I said, Brahmadev, na? You mean Brahmadev, right? He said, wahi, Brahmadev. That's the same thing. He didn't distinguish between the pronunciation of this and that. So, Brahmat samsaravaniva, because of an error, a deadly error. In computer, when it crashes, fatal error. Because of fatal error, we are in samsara. Why does error come from? All error comes from ignorance. All error comes from ignorance. So, now let us dive into this. Atma sakshi vibhu purnaha eka mukta chidakriyaha asango nispriya shanto brahmat samsaravaniva. What a beautiful verse. I don't know how Byram must have translated it, but it's beautiful. The self, you are the witness, you are all, you are complete, infinite, you are one, you are, so like this, pure consciousness, beyond transaction, free, unattached to anything, free of all hankering, of all lack, and free of suffering, peaceful, ever peaceful. Only in ignorance, in error born of ignorance, do we seem to be in samsara right now. It seems incredible. How is that possible? And it says that it's there right now. Not that after enlightenment you will become all this. You are all of this right now. You just don't see it. And Astavakra says, our challenge would be to Astavakra, okay, smart guy, show me. Show me. I'll show you. Right now? Yes, right now. Give me 30 minutes. And you walk out of here and say, oh, I see. Okay. There is a way of navigating this verse. There is a way of doing it. So the ride starts from here. Buckle up. Stay with me. It's a heady ride and it can leave you a little dizzy afterwards. So good to have warnings. Caution, buyer beware. One reaction to this is, wow, I get it. You say, I don't get it, you're safe. If you get it, you're in trouble. What kind of trouble? It's good to know these things from the beginning. Wow, I get it. This is real spirituality. This is what the truth is. Nothing compares to it. And so I give up my meditation, my prayer, my spiritual practices. You're asking for serious trouble. Never give up your spiritual practices. Also, a superiority complex. Now I know, you others don't know. You are in the kindergarten of spirituality. This is the PhD level, the University of Washington. This is the PhD level of spirituality. Never. That's also the intellect playing its own games. Then the desire to go around propagating this, teaching. If you're invited, like me, you can speak about it. If you're not, if people don't ask for it, don't tell them. There's people who are enthusiasts. And sometimes one dangerous breed of enthusiasts is moms. They will immediately impose it on their kids. Don't do that. So these are some warnings. I remember a Tibetan Buddhist monk, he said, you and your guru are one and the same reality. There is no doubt about it. Never forget to show respect to your guru. What is there with eyes open is also there with eyes closed. But never, so with eyes closed, what you find? With eyes open also it's the same reality. But never neglect your meditation. What is there in the city is also there. What is there in the forest is also there in the city. No doubt about it. But never lose a chance to go to a retreat. So never give up the spiritual, the structure of spiritual life. Anyway, these are warnings. So you are all mature. It's a dangerous thing to give to an immature mind. It can ruin your spiritual life and it can cause immeasurable harm to others also. Every powerful thing is dangerous, and none as powerful and as dangerous as Advaita Vedanta. Misunderstood. An analogous verse I remember from the Mula Madhyamaka Karika of Nagarjuna, the root verses on the middle way of Nagarjuna, nearly 2000 years ago. In his particular formulation of the non-dual truth, it is emptiness, shunyata. He says, emptiness is the antidote to all other suffering, all other misconceptions. But those who take emptiness itself to be the ultimate reality, for them there is no rescue. It is like a snake grasped in the wrong way. It's going to bite you. So similarly, Advaita, careful. All right, with all these warnings, let us start the ride. Buckle in. Chid akriya, chid. We'll focus on this word. Atma sakshi vibhu purna ekas mukta chid akriya. Chid. Consciousness. Let's start there. We are all conscious. Who denies it? Nobody's raised their hand yet. By conscious, I mean, I'm aware. I'm conscious. Right now, I'm conscious. I am experiencing all of this and I'm having feelings. I am a conscious being. Nobody denies this. Vedanta just says we usually think of ourselves as bodies with consciousness. Vedanta wants us to reverse it as a first step, as a first entry into Vedanta, consciousness with a body. So start by focusing on consciousness. Take your stand on consciousness. Let's focus, narrow down on awareness itself, consciousness itself. I'm using the terms interchangeably. There is no clear word in English for something which has many words in Sanskrit. Chit is one word, Astavakra uses. Chit, pure consciousness. Chit, Chaitanya, Bodha, Samvit. So many words are there. Chiti, so many words are there. Prakasha. So, Chit, consciousness. What about consciousness? As Maharaj said in his beautiful introduction, this is a good time to be alive if you're interested in consciousness studies. Consciousness studies has become a very respectful and a hot field of investigation in the last 20 years or so, 20 to 25 years. People are seriously interested in what is consciousness and trying to understand and explain it in terms of modern scientific understanding and a modern paradigm. Just to give you dimensions of this present study, what the field looks like right now. You can look it up online, search for 325 theories of consciousness. Robert Lawrence Kuhn, who runs this podcast, Closer to Truth. So he's been interested in this for many years. He has interviewed experts, philosophers, theologians, monks. He interviewed me also, scientists, physicists, computer scientists, AI people. And he wrote this, what he learned over decades of exploration. He wrote this encyclopedic article. It's a PDF. It's like basically a booklet. It's called The Landscape of Consciousness, where he just outlines all the theories of consciousness which are floating around right now, trying to understand what consciousness is. And you know how many theories there are? 325 at last count. 325 theories of consciousness. Google it. There's a long 2 or 3 hour interview with Robert Lawrence Kuhn on YouTube. And the name of that is 325 theories of consciousness, 325 plus theories of consciousness. Is that too many? He says, no, we need one more, the correct one. He says a sign of advancement in science is that when you narrow down multiple ideas into one theory which is workable, acceptable, which becomes the ruling paradigm. It may be rejected later on, but for some time at least that becomes the theory. If you have 325 theories, which means we don't understand it at all. It's not a mature perspective. Yes? Yes. So we don't have a mature theory of consciousness yet. 325 theories. Recently I had a wonderful experience. By the way, if you see that interview, one more thing I want to tell you about the interview before we go deeper into this. He says all of this, it starts with India and in the Upanishads. And he says it is with Advaita Vedanta, where you have, this is the source of all our speculations, our theories of consciousness. It starts there. And he gives a broad picture of how these theories have come. The Vedantic theories, Buddhist, Jaina theories, the ancient Indian theories, then the dualistic theories, materialistic theories, and now he says we are beginning to circle back to those ancient theories. Anyway, so it's an interview worth listening to, very interesting. I recently had an interesting experience myself. I was in Venice in a conference, a private conference on, it was called Towards a New Theory of Consciousness, one more. And they had some extraordinary people. Some of the most brilliant scientists, philosophers, computer scientists from across the world. One of the most renowned neuroscientists in the world, Christoph Koch from Seattle. The head of Google's AI research, Blaze from Seattle. Then there was the head of Google's quantum computing, Hartmut from Seattle. And there were people like David Chalmers, who coined the phrase hard problem of consciousness. So brilliant gathering of people, and I was the token monk there. And it was all organized by a very interesting person. If you Google him, the philosopher billionaire. His name is Berggruen. There was an NYT, New York Times article about him. He's also very interested in consciousness studies, so he organized this kind of a conference. And I was interested to see how many of them were from Seattle itself, of those people investigating consciousness. Incredible. What is Astavakra's theory of consciousness? What does he say? And what he's going to say is not speculative. He's going to point to something which is available to us right now, right here. Remember, there was the promise. I'll show you something which is right now, right here. This is the way you listen now. From now on, keep noticing. At least to some level, it will seem like, yeah, you will keep saying, yes, it's true. I never thought of it that way. You can put it that way. I never noticed it, but it's true. At some level, it will seem a little mystifying and maybe it seems speculative, metaphysical, but I assure you it is not. The incredible thing about Astavakra is, the incredible thing about Advaita Vedanta, but Astavakra especially is, nothing he says in those 300 verses in that book is outside our experience right now. We just don't see it. And he's endeavoring to show us. Let us see. So as I said, there is a way in which we have to navigate this verse. So stay with this. Start with consciousness. What do I have to know about consciousness? He says, notice that consciousness, where are you conscious? I'm seeing now, I'm conscious. Well, notice seeing. Whatever you're seeing, you're conscious. If you're seeing the orange color, you're conscious. If you're seeing the pink color there, you're conscious. You're seeing the brown or the white here, you're conscious. Colors are different, shapes are different. What we see is very different. Lots and lots of, we see thousands of shapes and colors and things, living beings, non-living beings. But in all of this seeing, we are conscious. And the consciousness, let me give you one example and then I'll stretch it infinitely wide. This orange and this white. The experience of this orange color is different from the white color. We are agreed on that. And this paper is different, a different object from this cloth. We are agreed on that. And the experience of seeing orange and the experience of seeing white is also different from each other. But I'm going to put to you a simple, very intuitive, easily acceptable proposition. That the consciousness by itself which experience this orange color and this white color is the same consciousness. That awareness, that consciousness which just had the experience of orange, now is having the experience of white. It's the same awareness. The color changed, time changed, tick, tick, tick. But the awareness is the same by itself. It is the same awareness which had the experience of different colors and shapes. You see, that seems pretty simple. Yes. And it is the same awareness which has the experience of sound, of listening to voice and music. Little while ago you were hearing the beautiful music. Same awareness. Listen, the experience of seeing is so different from the experience of hearing. And yet the claim is it is the same awareness, the same consciousness which is seeing, which is also hearing. Giving you the experience, the conscious experience of seeing, the conscious experience of hearing, same consciousness. Although the experiences are very different. And why are they different? For obvious reasons, because the objects are very different. The objects of experience, color, shape, sound, music, they are all very different. And therefore, you have a variety of experiences. But the crucial insight is the one consciousness. It is to that one consciousness that there is seeing and there is hearing and smelling and tasting and touching, all of our sensory modalities. They all appear and are experienced and are changing and are disappearing to that one consciousness, in the light of that one consciousness. No. See, the way to understand this is actually to see it. Notice, this is one experience. That is another experience. The two experiences are different. But it is to the same consciousness that this appeared, and this is also appearing to the same consciousness, the same awareness. Is it that not true? It's as simple. Don't overcomplicate it. Don't overthink it. Just see it, notice it, and say, yeah, okay. So, it is the same consciousness which lights up all our tremendously rich variety of sensory experiences. And it lights our internal experiences, our thoughts, our memories, our desires, our pleasures and pains, our impulses, our ideas, even the sense of ego, the entire internal, what is called the antakarana, the mind, the intellect, the memory, the emotions, all of this tremendous internal activity, that's also lit up by that same awareness, which lights up all our sensory experiences. And further, all our actions, walking, talking, grasping, driving, playing, working, all of it is, these are all conscious experiences. Which consciousness? The same consciousness. So now you put it all together. All our sensory experiences, seeing, hearing, smelling, tasting, touching, same consciousness. All our internal mental experiences of of thinking, remembering, desiring, hating, enjoying, suffering, understanding, remembering, all of these are all lit up by that same consciousness. And our activities, physical activities in the world, all lit up by the same consciousness. So it is one consciousness which lights up all our waking, all our dreaming, and even the claim will be in deep sleep, one consciousness. Which one? The one which you say, I am conscious now? When we say I am conscious, it's not theoretical. I remember once I gave a similar talk in Calcutta, and after that in the Q&A, there was one lady who was quite indignant, I could see throughout the talk, and she rushed up to the Q&A to ask the first question. Said, Swami, all this is good, but it's all theoretical. I said, Madam, not one thing that I've said here is theoretical. It's not theory. Don't distance it from yourself by saying this is theory. Do you not admit that you're conscious right now? And it's that very consciousness which you admit to, which we are talking about now. It is that consciousness which enables you to have all sensory experiences, all motor actions, and all internal, mental, inner, subjective first-person experiences, all of that, all our waking, all our dreaming, or even the deep sleep, that's the claim. There will be times when I will not give you the arguments because there's no time to give arguments. This verse itself, I was calculating to, if we took it slowly and carefully, methodically, it would have taken 3 classes, 3 hours to explain this one verse. And I'll try to do it in the next 20 minutes. So sometimes I will glide over the arguments because one might lose the forest for seeing the tree, the big picture for. So this one consciousness, the light which lights up our lives. Upanishads use poetic language for it. That shining, everything else shines. By its light, everything here is lit up. Tameva bhantam manubhati sarvam, tasya bhasa sarvamidam vibhati. That light. In the Gita, Sri Krishna uses beautiful language. Jyotisham apitad jyoti tamasah paramuchyate. It is the light of lights, forever beyond darkness. Jnanam geyam jnanagamyam hridi sarvasya dishtitam. It is knowledge, it is attained by knowledge, and it is that which is knowable, always shining in the hearts of all beings. This is beautiful poetry. What does it mean? That consciousness, which you all admitted to, we all admitted to being conscious, that he says is shining in the hearts of all beings. When I gave this verse, so there was, in that conference which I mentioned, there was one of the most noticed scientists of our world today, quantum theorist. Have you heard of Carlo Rovelli? Yeah. So he was there. And I told him this verse. We are walking in the garden of a 12th century Italian monastery. It had been opened up just for all these people who had come from all over the world, this group. We are walking in there. And he came, we just met. I remember telling him this verse. He was so excited. He said, we must write a paper on quantum theory, and there was this Google AI guy right in front of us. AI and Advaita Vedanta. I won't believe it, it's already written. I won't tell you anymore, it's going to be published very soon in a leading journal. Not me. I just provided just the seeds of Advaitic ideas. The work was done all by the big brains. So this verse, it is the light of lights. All sounds amazing. What is the light of lights? It's that very consciousness which we are all experiencing right now. Nothing outside our experience. It's only thing that Astavakra says is, this consciousness is that which makes all experience possible. What experience? The experience of life. Tomorrow, if you see God, it will be this very consciousness. What else will see God? This, all of what I said in the last 10 minutes or so, Astavakra uses a name, a word, Sakshi. Atma Sakshi Vibhu Purna Eka Mukta Chidakriyaha. Chit, pure consciousness, is the Sakshi, is the illuminer of all our experiences. Sensory experiences, motor experiences, internal first-person mental experiences. All of that is lit up by consciousness. The word is used is Sakshi. And this Sakshi, one witness consciousness. Now when you speak like that, what is consciousness? It is the light of lights. It is that which lights up all our experiences. When you speak like that, one subtle feeling will be left. Yes, okay, so there is this consciousness, it is the Sakshi which lights up all experiences here. But then there are so many like me here. So how many Sakshis are there? How many consciousnesses are there? The early quantum theorists were all Vedantins. Schrödinger, Heisenberg, Oppenheimer. I heard recently that our Swami in San Francisco, Vedananda ji, he worked with Oppenheimer. He even still he calls him Opie. He is a scientist in the not in the Manhattan Project, but just after that. Yeah. So one of them, I think it was Schrödinger, who said consciousness is that singular of which there is no plural. So is there, how many consciousnesses are there? How many sakshis, witness consciousnesses are there? Astavakra says, ekaha, one. Counterintuitive, because we feel we are all different from each other, so there must be different consciousness in each one of us. He says, no. We seem to be different. Krishna says in the Bhagavad Gita, avibhaktam cha bhuteshu vibhaktam eva cha sthitam. Undivided in all sentient beings, I appear as if divided. We are one consciousness. I appear as if I am 7 billion people and billions of other living beings also. All of it. Actually, we are one consciousness. Argue for that? There are huge arguments, centuries, millennia old arguments from different schools which fought intellectual gladiatorial combat across the centuries. So the Sankhyans and the Advaitins, they would argue at this point. I will not go into the arguments here. They're not very difficult. If anybody is interested, later on we'll look at that. But basically he shows the essence of all those arguments will be anything that you show to be a difference in consciousness, the Advaitin will show it's a difference in the mind or the senses or the body. It can explain the so-called differences in consciousness. So not many, it is ekaha, one consciousness shining through all minds and bodies, all minds, sensory systems and bodies. I can't resist. Let me give you one argument. Okay, a couple of arguments. The Sankhyan says, no, we can't all be one consciousness. And then the birth of one would be the birth of all, the death of all would be, death of one would be the death of all. The one person is dead, then everybody would die if you are all one consciousness. That's ridiculous. That doesn't happen. And the Advaitin answers, that's an easy one to answer. Birth and death are birth and death of the body, not of consciousness. So one body may be born and consciousness shines there as this person who's born. At that time another may be dying and consciousness shines there as that body is dying and experiences a dying body there. It could be one consciousness. And then a more subtle argument. But if we are one consciousness, then we would experience everybody's minds. Like I'm experiencing the contents of this mind. But if we are all one consciousness, I would experience the contents of all minds. It's put in this way, that if we are all one consciousness, then if one is awake, everyone would be awake. If one falls asleep, everyone would fall asleep. If one is enlightened, everyone will be enlightened. If one is ignorant, everyone will become ignorant, because it's one consciousness. And the answer is no, not at all, not at all. If the waking and dreaming and sleeping, these are functions of the mind, not of consciousness. One mind could be alert, the other could be dreaming, other could be in deep sleep, and the consciousness would illumine the alert mind here and feel, I am alert, listening, I am daydreaming, I am nothing, blank, deep sleep. Consciousness could be one in all of them. These distinctions are distinctions of the mind. One could be, and that's good, because in Vedanta classes, somebody or the other is always sleeping. If one falls asleep and everybody will fall asleep, then we would be in trouble. Oh no, it's not possible. If we are all one consciousness, well, my guru is illumined, then I will become illumined. And unfortunately, that doesn't happen. Well, no, this illumination and ignorance enlightenment and ignorance are in the mind, not in Atman, Brahman, pure consciousness. So pure consciousness could be one in all bodies and minds, and yet it might appear in function, in functionality to be different, to be interacting with each other. We could all be one consciousness. And Krishna says it with great emphasis in the Bhagavad Gita. Kshetragyam chapimam vidhi sarva kshetreshu bharata. One of the most tremendous statements in the entire Bhagavad Gita. O Arjuna, in all these fields, he calls these bodies and minds, he calls them fields. In all these fields, know me to be the one knower of the field. We feel that if this is a field, then I am the field knower here. That's the field, and there's another field knower there. And there are thousands and millions and billions of field knowers in each field. He says counterintuitively that there is only one field knower in all fields. Ekaha. We are one consciousness, appearing to be many. Okay. What are we doing here? We are all exploring consciousness. Astavakra theory of consciousness. We have already found two tremendous discoveries we have made. One is consciousness is Sakshi. It is the one light which illumines, which gives us all our experiences, and nobody can doubt that. All that you consider experience, sensory experience, mental experience, emotional experience, intellectual experience, aesthetic experience, pleasure, pain, life itself, which we all think, this all made possible by consciousness. The first person experience, this is what the people are finding so difficult to explain about consciousness. This light of lights, this is first discovery. This is one thing we have come across. And then another tremendous discovery. At that level, we are not many, we are one. Ekaha. Okay. Now, this one consciousness, which is ever shining, objects are changing, our mental, our sensory experiences are changing. The awareness is ever the same. It's one, not only one consciousness in all our experiences, it is unchanging. It is unchanging. Consciousness does not change. Big claim. You might say, no, how do you know? Isn't it that consciousness changes? I'm alert in the morning after a cup of coffee, very alert, and then I'm not so alert, and then I fall asleep. But we just said all that is the mind, not consciousness. Consciousness has distinguished from the mind.
Become Swami Vivekananda's messenger. Share the video with 3 of your friends.